I guess actually I could process this with that, which would be fun. So I'm going to do that. The video I just recorded, and I did push stop. I'm now going to try to process it. It'll probably take a second, because it's a long video, hour and a half instead of 10 minutes. But let's see how it goes. Also, I have to deal with the download folder nonsense. This is how many times I tried to run this. Oh, that's the current one? Wow, neat. That's cool. Um, I just read the blog about the guy. OBS apparently just made a new like MP4 format that apparently allows you to watch it while it's being recorded. That's crazy. I don't know how it's going to handle this transcript because so much of what I was doing in that video was going like doop a doop a doop. We'll see. Anyways, I've got my OBS configured so it all just goes into a folder like that in my D file data folder. So I'm just going to put that there, and then punch it, punch it, punch it, punch it, punch it, punch it. 8, 8, 8, 8. Godspeed. What is this? Contributing artist? What are you doing? God, I hate Windows. It's probably not Windows' fault there. It's like you're not gonna tell me the size because it's like, oh, I know what you do. It's just, I just really don't like it when they guess. Like it's a. I never want to see contributing artists. Is that? Okay. Okay, so this is okay. So the full pull MP3 is 92 megabytes. So now we're going to compress it, and I'll bet that will get small. If it's significantly larger than 20, it may, yeah. I'm guessing it'll be small enough to process because it'll probably compress down pretty well. But I am also now like I really want to be doing this Whisper stuff locally just because it's like that's a lot of data to be sending up. And you said, John Jacobs, that it was expensive, relatively speaking, to process Whisper stuff, which I think is probably true, especially for very long stuff. Who knows? I could check. It's probably going to take a second. While it's doing that, I'm going to... Oh, never mind. 23. So that's just under the line if the limit actually is 25 or 26 or whatever it is. So someday we might have to worry about like chunking, like sending stuff in chunks, or just put like a more aggressive compression stuff in there and then just give like sensible errors, so that people can know what's up. But I'm now talking at different levels because a lot of the stuff is like, is this a package that just like you and I are going to use and run because it's fun, or are we imagining this as something that like is going to be available to other people in larger scales and contexts? Those are very different conversations when it comes to like the right way to have things structured and refactored and stuff like that. What are you doing? You still thinking? Oh, this previous part was the compression part, and now this is the transcription part. Okay, control, click that. Nope. Right. Give me that. Hey, okay, there we go. There's there. I'm curious more about that thing, which might make something crash, but I am gonna do it anyway. So presumably, so this is the one I just recorded. Presumably this is the one I'm currently recording. And if I open it, Yeah, this is the video I'm currently recording. That's insane. That's so cool. I'm not talking at different levels because a lot of stuff is like. It just said that. What happens if we get to the end? Will it crash? Presumably, so this is the one I just recorded. Presumably, this is the one I'm currently recording. And if I open it, yeah, this is the video I'm currently recording. That's so cool. It's super neat. Just said that. I just said that. Okay. All right, bye. Cool. Not relevant to the task at hand, but super neat. And shout out whoever did that. Shout out OBS, I guess, as a abstract entity. Transcribe faster, you butt. I got things to do. This guy. Shout out Rodney. This is real. Like it's got all these things. It's like you got an MP4 file and blah blah blah. Like whatever you just did, man, I'm impressed by that. Are you gonna be done yet? Come on. If you're gonna crash, just crash. This is not. This is bad content. Big buck honey holes. Big buck bunny holes. Big buck bunny. That's actually a funny reference, I think. I think that's a reference to this, which is, yeah, this is like, I want to say this was like the original Blender demo video, and like Blender has since done many other demo videos to sort of like showcase what they do. 2008. So we call that an Easter egg, which is actually pretty double funny because it's a Easter bunny Easter egg. How long have you been running? 4 minutes? What are we? What are you? What are we? Thank you. See, I shamed it. I shamed it into doing it. Whoa. Here we are. All right. You did it. Okay. Theoretically, what's the word count look like? Stuff. Okay. We're file think. I'm one stuff. Oh, we're file think. Okay, now thing. Blah blah. Yeah. Good. I mean, that I did say that. I did say that a lot. Um. Interestingly, I actually don't. That's interesting. I don't think that the word cloud. I think the word cloud is raw text. You could, one could, push it through, like the word cloud could be generated like from AI stuff. Like you could let the AI say, "Hey, like what are the most important words here," and then word cloud that. Let's look at the HUDML. That's interesting. I wonder if that's because it's that new format. But so it doesn't like that for whatever reason. The Speaker Refactor is a Friends AI tool focusing on packaging open source practices of code maintainability, ultimately generating summaries and video capture. That's what I said. That's the thing that happened. You watched it happen. I mean, yeah. Is it? The speaker concludes by running successfully in a tool, generating summaries there. So it's like, I don't know if this is the best summary. Like, I don't know if this like captures the vibe, but it was like an hour and a half long, like rambling video. So there's no, the thing you're asking it to structure did not have structure. So you can't really be too sad about that. I might ask this to be like multi-leveled. So this is basically key points. You could think about make like secondary summary or whatever. But it's certainly at a high level accurate. See, notice that I talked about file IO a lot. It's fucking spectacular. Okay, I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to edit stuff around so that I'm going to put this part first, and then I'm going to put the long one after that. And that'll be the whole video. Bye. I mean, hi in a second. I don't know. It depends. Who cares? I hope you have a good day. Okay, so let's try this again for the redacted time. I'm doing a quick like blind code walkthrough slash refactor with my good friend Jake Kalinstead, John Kalinstead, as he has made this fun little AI tool for doing stuff. And yeah, John is a friend from grad school, also has a PhD in cognitive science, also was a professor of cognitive science for a good long little while, and knows how to do good smart stuff. But I was not been, I would say, fully indoctrinated into the culture of free open source software development and the practices and whatnot. So I'm just going to do like a crush through and just like basically repackage it into a package using highly opinionated choices based on using poetry as the package who's it. And I'll just kind of like shout things out as I'm going through. Verbal protocol analysis, I'm told this is called. Okay, step 1, fork them. Create a new fork into my personal thing, and I'm going to start by just renaming it into TreeBloomer as we discussed, because I talked about it earlier. Just for a couple of reasons. It's kind of like, it's, first of all, it's just shorter, and it's kind of easier when the name of the repo and the package are just like one word, so you don't have to do the whole like, is it a hyphen, is it an underscore, or just I don't know if it's really like crawling your file tree so much as it is like you give it a path and it does stuff, but also who cares? So fork them. Boom. Okay, so first glance AGPL, love it. Aggressively open source. People are like, oh, what's the word? Like, we are proudly open source. No, aggressively open source. Okay, first things first. Yeah, what it is, how to install it, how to use it. Love that. Give me some pictures. Give me some, like, what am I going to get? Snapshots. Easiest way to put that stuff in here is to, in the GitHub website editor, just get, whatever. Just grab a screenshot and then just paste that into the editor, and GitHub will automatically like do the thing where it puts it on. Oh, they changed that. That used to be like GITLFS, which is Git Large File Service. I guess they've done something here, but it's very nice. It works really easily for images. It works for like small videos. It keeps that, like those data files out of your repo. I don't know how to do that from any other source than the website, so just kind of like I tend to write it up and then just do the thing. Just drag and drop there. I could edit that there. I'm not going to, because this should match this, but who cares? Grab the the linkum, go to PyCharm, because we are opinionated here. Everything I'm doing, I have the professional PyCharm. Everything I'm doing will work in the community version, which is the free one. Ignore that. Remove recent. That was the wrong thing to click, but it doesn't matter. I could have said the VCS thing. VCS is version control service, which Git is the main one. GitHub being a website that houses Git repos. So when you see VCS, for the most part, it means Git and GitHub stuff, unless you have opinions enough to use like things that aren't Git, like Mercurial or whatever the hell else there is. But if you have those kinds of opinions, then you don't need me to explain how to do this part. I don't know why it always gets that wrong. I think it's just because I don't need to have that. Oh, there you go. You figured it out. Good job. If you edit this, it never fixes itself. And is it gonna be sad? I think it should be fine. This window, because I did do this before and the recording screwed up, so I nuked it. So, but I appropriately nuked it. Okay, so we're not going to do this, even though PyCharm's trying to be helpful, because we're going to try poetry. In one of the previous recordings, I discovered that I recently accidentally like destroyed all of my paths. I accidentally reset every path, so that's why like poetry didn't work and stuff like that. And that is my own fault for developing on Windows, which we hopefully will be escaping from that shortly. Okay, so here we are. We're in this space. We're looking at this code. First things first. Step number 1: notes or docs. Docs or notes. In my mind, docs means the place where markdown files that aren't the README live. So stuff them in there. Thank you. And we'll handle all this stuff. Elseways, AGPL v3, love that. I have seen this mostly like this. So .env is the sample, and if you want to give an example, like you do .env and then it's kind of like you do the suffix to give the specific type. I don't know. It doesn't matter. Okay, got this guy. README. I guess we'll go ahead and do that while we're here. Boom, boom, boom. Again, I don't think crawl your file tree is quite like as accurate as it could be, but I don't care. Moving on. Hooray. Okay, so I have poetry. It's installed. Poetry. Hooray. Poetry is my preferred package managing surface or whatever. I think it's the most like fully featured. If it's just like you do have to install it and put it on your path and stuff like that. And yeah, if you can't figure it out, ask for help. Poetry. So this mode is like so you get the requirements.txt file. It's a lot. Oh Jesus, that's a lot of requirements. We probably don't need all those, but we can figure that out. Whew. Why are there so many? This looks like it was dumped from somewhere, like a pip freeze or something like that. So we can we'll get around that. So requirements.txt is kind of like the older way of doing it. It's nicer in the fact that it is like a pretty raw way to handle it, and you could install dependencies doing pip install -r requirements, which probably is like that. But pypackage.toml is the new way that we like more because it's more configurable and blah blah blah. And we can use poetry to help us set it up for us. So there we go. Package name, TreeBloomer. Sure. Can I make you bigger? Bigger. Everybody bigger. TreeBloomer. Great. Version. Great. Not really supposed to start at 0.0. You see a lot of stuff that's like 0.0 point number. You're not technically supposed to do that with this semantic versioning. And semantic versioning is this. The first number is the major version. Major, minor, patch. The idea is that patch updates should just like you shouldn't notice them as a user. They're just like bug fixes and stuff like that. Minor version means possible breaking changes. Major version is like this is a completely different guy. This is where I would do a description if I wanted to, but I'm not going to. Blank. Author. Not really. That's not me. It's John. Who cares? End to skip. Great. License. There's a way to tell it to just point it straight at your thing. I don't really know how to do it, so let's just do it like this. So this is the official designation for how to specify that guy. I don't remember the name of what this is called, but you could also just write AGPLv3. I don't really know how the rules work here, but I think your license is pretty much determined by like the license file in your repository. So it's good when these match, but I think if I left it blank from a legal perspective, it's probably still this guy, but I don't know. Who even knows? Compatible Python versions. This is always a good question. So this is one of the issues with you using requirements.txt is I don't know what version of Python you were running. 3.12 is the latest. However, in my experience, it's like the one behind the latest version is typically the most supported one. So okay, so how do we do this? So it's wants to be greater than 3.9, so it's 310 and up, less than 3.12. So that's 310 and 311, which is, in my experience, have been the most like supported, least likely to throw bugs and stuff like that. And I believe 311 is the one where there was one where they're like, hey, this new version is 30% faster. We fixed something. It's like, it's like, great. So you want to use that one. But also, this is not really computationally expensive, so it doesn't super matter because it's all API calls until we start doing Whisper stuff. But whatever. Even that I don't think will matter in the Python code. Do you want to define your main dependencies interactively? So I'm going to put a couple that I know we'll need. And then I'm not going to put all of these in here because I know that most of them are not necessary. So we'll get to that. So I know we're going to need OpenAI. Oh, so first of all, yes. Blah, blah, blah. It does all these things. Great. And you can do all these stuff. Great. Good job. Let's start with OpenAI because I know we're going to need that guy. And it's like, did you mean that one? Typically you do yes. So I hit 0, so select it. Version constraint, use the most latest version. 1.457, which one were you using here? 1.444. Okay, don't know why. What? Hopefully we'll see. So same major version, different minor version, may or may not. Bonk, we'll find out. OpenAI Whisper, this is a calendar version. I don't like this format at all because it's like, whatever. We are going to need that. So we'll install that one too. OpenAI Whisper. Doink. 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 So we're going to need other ones. We're going to need other repository or packages and stuff like that, but we'll find those at runtime by basically just like getting it set up to run, and then it'll just, I guess I can go through and kind of see what gets imported, but I could also just run it and wait till it crashes. But smarter move will be to, I guess, look at what the imports are. So most of this stuff is sub packages. So these are mostly things that were installed by other packages. So things, I think like tick token gets automatically installed when you install OpenAI. So you don't need to, and you don't want to specify that in the package. You want to let OpenAI handle what version of tick token they want. This is also strict versioning, which is good. We like strict versioning because it means that they're not going to change something underneath you. But with Poetry, that's handled by the lock file, so you actually don't have to specify as rigidly as you. We'll get to that in a second. Okay, dev dependencies. Would I like to define my dev dependencies interactively? No, because we don't need any for now. Later, we will want things like PyTest. We want things like BumpVer for PyTest for the test framework. Unless there's a newer, cooler one out there, but I think PyTest is still the one. It's like, this is kind of shitty, but Python's kind of fits the vibe of Python. It's like clunky and old, but basically functional. As opposed to JavaScript, which is insane and kludgy, but highly performant if you set it up properly. BumpVer for the versioning, but let's skip it for now. Not necessary. Not necessary means not necessary. Okay. So it's like, are you happy with this? And I'm like, yeah. So I say, yeah. And then it makes the guy. And then up here, a couple of things will happen now. Very few things will happen now. So basically it just made this pyproject.toml. Authors are there. I'm just going to leave this blank. It might require a thing. If it does, we'll find out. I never know if I do this right. I always feel like I didn't. I'm actually also going to specify it specifically as 311. It might yell at me later. I guess I could. And I could do it like this. Yeah, I could do it or I think it's like that. Like that is how you can say 311 in friends, but I don't know. Who cares? It'll yell at me if it's wrong. Do boop boop do. And so now if I try to run this, I think it will yell at me because it will be sad because it's going to be expecting to see a folder called this in this root folder. So it's opinionated like that. You can't have it be src or source, or can't have it elsewhere. Like, it's got to be a package with the name of the package. This can be a little confusing because the way I have done this historically is the package is the name of the repo. So you do have like a TreeBloomer inside of TreeBloomer, so that can be like a little headspacey. But just remember that the outer folder is the root, and then you're just in that. That's the package folder. Is the outer folder. The package folder is the same location as the pyproject.toml. Okay, let's see how it goes. So I'm here. If I type poetry shell, I believe that is the who's-it that will look for the pyproject.toml, and it will see if there's an existing poetry environment on my computer, and it will not be there, and so it will make a new one to match the specification of the toml. See how it goes. How are we doing? Okay. Okay. So there we go. So we got it. So it's lives here. I can say Python. I can confirm that it's running 3.11. It did yell at me. It was like it was chiding me. It's like something blah blah blah. And I don't really know what that. It's happy enough. If it was sad, it would be very aggressively sad. Okay, import sys.executable executable. That's where the actual environment lives. If you want to go look at it, you can. Like, if you need to ever like adjust anything in there, you can. If you ever need to nuke the environment, you have to delete this folder. And there's also like a env.toml or something in that folder. You have to go in there and delete it from that as well for it to properly die. Okay, great. Oh wait, I meant to do. Okay, so if I go into here again, I don't know why my up button hasn't been going to history. I don't know what that's about. I'm pushing up, nothing's happening. Okay. Python import OpenAI. It's going to be like not found, exit. Because I haven't installed anything yet. And so I do that by saying poetry update, which is a little bit like, I don't actually know if poetry install does anything, but poetry update means update the current environment to match the toml. So it checks it and it says, oh, look, we haven't, we're missing some things that are important. It's sad here for some reason. This might be because I screwed up my path. LLVM is sad. Okay, so I may or may not be okay there. If I need to fix that, I'll just pause it and fix it. But it might be because the environment's not properly set up yet. Like, the package isn't there properly, so it might be sad about that. I don't quite know. We'll find out. Okay, I'm just going to start rearranging stuff in here. So first things first is we want to have a guy. It could say Python package, but all this does is make a folder with a .init file in it. So, which is not what init means. Init's for initialization, I think, but it's cute that it says init. I think it's funny. Okay, so make a directory, call it TreeBloomer. That's the name of the guy on the name of the thing at the top of the thing right there. Great, TreeBloomer. In this guy, see how it's got a little nothing there? New file, dunder init.py. So in Git land and a lot of code land and stuff like that, like, there's kind of no such thing as an empty folder in your actual file system. It's kind of like, it's like an address to a place that doesn't exist. So in order to make it exist in the eyes of Git and all that is holy, you put a file, even if it's an empty file, in the folder so that way it can sort of be noticed and be like handled by Git. Where is what? I don't know what's changed. What's going on? What? It's not seeing it in there. I don't know. How we doing? Git status? Broke my whole ass computer, I swear to God. I'm just doing it from command line. Git commit dash am dash a is add stuff dash m is do a message. Made poetry, did poetry in it. Punch it. Git push. Okay. I don't know why this is for recent changes. I don't know why this just thinks that. I don't know. We'll come back to that. Or we won't. Who cares? TreeBloomer. Okay, so now we've got these guys. Yeah, so first of all, these need to have init files in them. Like, it works in a variety of ways, but just like if it's Python stuff, just every folder needs to have an init file in it. So I'm just copying these in here. You can do stuff in the init file, but for the most part, just don't. Gonna put that in here. Oh yeah, I saw this in the right click, close tabs to the left. I think this might have been like this. You said this was AI generated stuff, so like some of these scripts are quite adjacent source files. Oh yeah, I'll bet that's where you got it. Things like this of like the renamber of v1 to v2. Like I know that talking to John, like there was a v1 and then you changed it to v2 and then you changed some of the naming structure, so you made this little helper script to adapt that over. That's fine. It makes total sense. Put it in there. It doesn't need to be in the README because, especially for something like this where the v1 was never public, literally nobody but you will need that. So you don't need to talk about it. But the AI probably saw it and added it, so who knows. Okay, also just write utilities. What, you saving time? Utilities. Busy? You saving time? You don't have you had to go somewhere before you wrote the rest of that word? You think it's clearer? It's more clear when we don't write the whole thing out? They were just pulling these guys in. Okay. Now this may be okay, we're opinionated. In package land, the main file is in, I think this is true. I think in like official package land, the main file is inside of the package. What just happened? Oh, I copied it. You didn't need to do that. Get out of here, you. Yeah, you're not even seeing that. Something's. Oh, it's because I didn't point that towards it. I'm not going to bother. Oh, yeah. I mentioned poetry is the most fully featured. Venv is the lowest level. Conda is like the most user-friendly, but then you wind up with all this like gunk following you around. Like, I don't care about any of these things anymore, but I have to look at them every time. Blech. Get out of here, you. See, it's like, this is unused, apparently, but who cares? Okay. How are we doing over here? Oh yeah, so main becomes dunder main. Dut dut boop 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 bup bup. Okay. And then here I think we could do a thing. How do I do that? Right click. Let's look at Skrelly Cam. New window. Hey. Wee. This is a different guy. Who's all these? There we go. Boom. Wait, where'd you go? Come back. TreeBloomer. Where are you trying to get off to? I thought I told you to do that last time. Okay. Also, just to be clear, you don't actually, if just because it was made with poetry, you don't actually have to run it with poetry. You could just do pip install -e dot and it would just work properly, I think. Pretty sure. So we're not called Skellycam, we're called TreeBloomer. 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 So now, oh, this might get annoying about the stupid thing again. So let's see. Poetry update. Boop, boop. Oh, because we moved stuff into that guy again. So we'll see if it yells at me. Yeah. All right, let's ask the machine about this real quick. Like, who's all this garbage stuff? Python. Control C. Yoink. Stupid Discord garbage. What's wrong here? I'm on Windows 11. I recently screwed up my system path, so I might need to fix that. Hold my hand, I'm baby, because I don't feel like thinking about your answers. Blah, blah, blah. All right, I'm going to pause the video and fix this nonsense. Thank you. Mwah. Be back. Okay, I'm back. I think I did it. I don't know. It was basically these instructions were correct. I didn't do the Windows R thing. I just went to those locations. The versions were more recent. But anyways, I did CMake version. It did work. And then I have not yet tried redoing this. That is this kind of error happens when there's an error, when there's like just a mistake in your Pi project thing. Like at line 1, column 7, it's like line 1, column, yeah, this part. It's because I control C in the wrong spot. Bop, 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 bop. Don't yell at me. God almighty. Chef build error. Okay, machine. Help me. Help me, jerk. I did that and the CMake thing works, but when I run Pi poetry update, I get this. This is the last thing I'm going to try, and I'm just going to switch back to something else. Looks like it's still unable to find a compatible. Sure you have. Do you want me to have 17? This seems wrong. Like no problem, but with that, which is not supporting. No cache dear. I don't know, man. I don't know. This. Okay. Which is required. I don't even know what your fucking deal is, man. Okay. Sucks to this poetry nonsense. I don't even want to mess with this bad jerk off no more. Get out of here. Python dash m ven. Nope, did that wrong. Nope, break. Get out of here. Get out of here. Vevna, who even are you? This guy. Ooh, it upworks again. Venv. I gotta get out of Windows land, man. I know better than this. So I'm just making a local Venv, not using anything fancy. I probably still can. I think it still works with this. I said it would, but I never know. Okay, Venv / scripts activate. If you're on a Mac, it'll be Venv / source Venv bin activate, and it'll be /. If you're on Linux, you don't need me to tell you. Okay, pip install -e dot. Don't you dare yell at me. I'll bite this microphone. Yeah, some fiddly bit with poetry was being screwy somehow. I don't know. Don't ask me. I got no answers. It's installing with pip. Cool kids talk about UV and like, oh, it's so fast. It's like, it would be nice if this was faster. But also, it's a new project, and I'd rather, I don't know. In this particular case, I'm going for the lowest entry point, like simplest, least friendly. And I do believe that like the problem poetry is having is because like I think I just ruined my computer, not ruined it, but like I killed the path, like, and so a lot of things that normally work are gonna stop working until I fix the path stuff, and I'm hoping I can not do that. Oh, I should have updated pip. I'll do it now, but I don't think it'll matter. Okay. All right, let's see what we got. Boop boo, ba doop ba doop boop doop boo, do 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 do. Okay, nothing wrong with that. I personally prefer it if there's a way to just run it from script. So one problem with this is it requires you using command line arguments to run it, which means that I can't just set it up to just like punch and go. But that's okay for now. What's the README say? Stop thinking. Oh, we need that. We'll get to that. We'll get to the API key stuff. Directory. So yeah, so it requires you to give it a directory, which I don't like that. I want to be able to just like set that as a thing. It's mostly just because I want to be able to be sloppy and just run stuff as scripts from the IDE. But this is fine. Okay, so now I need a little test script on my computer. And do I have something that's an obvious choice for that? I could pause it here, but I don't really want to. I'm just gonna look at what I got. I'll do it off screen. Because who knows what's in there. I mean, nothing exciting, but okay. There's another thing too is you can't. So you can't just point it at a video. You have to point it at a folder with a video in it, which is not the worst thing in the world. It's just like, kind of wish I could just point it at a video, because then I wouldn't have to do this. I'm going to say right click. Oh, Jesus fucking Christ. Windows, piece of shit. Okay, let's call this, do that, and then I delete that. And then now I can make a folder and call it Paul start here vid test. Do I have that thing? Jesus fucking Christ, stupid fucking thing. Okay, so I'm going to open you to the side. Where are you? Here we go. Again, I'm going to search for this thing. This is a video that I downloaded from my brother Paul's TikTok a while ago. Should be nice and short and easy to work with. That's the path. And now, and again, like what I would like to do is I have something here where I just like punch it in. And I know that there's a very easy way to do that. You just say like, if there are no arguments, use this as the default. Actually, maybe I'll just ask the machine how to do that. Ignore above. And don't do that. Just say new boy. Yeah, just make this so I can also specify a path in the script itself that gets used if there aren't any args coming in. Specify a path, specify the paths. Yeah, there you go, you set defaults. Default directory path R that, oh Jesus fucking Christ, not R again, because I'm a bad person using Windows. And then I say stupid, don't be doing that. There we go. Good thing I changed something before I got it to work by default. It's fine. Okay, so I now want to start using PyCharm to run stuff, so I'm going to point it at that venv. Hopefully this doesn't cause any issues. It usually does. Existing. Yep, that's the guy. Good job. This guy. Oh, it's gonna get. I gotta add that to the git ignore. What are we thinking about? Oh, but also the git still isn't working. This is working. I don't know what I've done to my life. Yeah, so that color means it's not there. Okay, we're doing something. Shuffling stuff. Shuffling. Kit. Commit. Okay. My computer's yelling if you can't hear it because of whatever this is going on. It's because it has the venv in here, and venv, like, there's a ton of nonsense in here, and so it's having to index it, which is another kind of disadvantage of using that route. But it'll figure itself out in a second. And it shouldn't affect what I'm doing. Okay. So I've got that. I've installed that stuff. I think I installed things. Yes. Okay, and I set those default things. And this is now committed, which is dumb, but who cares? Like, I guess hypothetically showing your path is a security flaw, but like realistically, I'm not that worried about it. Boop 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 boop. Okay, step 1. Logger. Okay, so I think the way we do this, we say we grab the logging config, and that we're going to put into the init file of the whole who's it guy. Oh, does Poetry want you to have like? No, I don't think it does. Who cares? So we put that there so that way the logging will always be the same no matter where we are in the who's it. And I say add details like, you know, where the call is coming from, like the line number and file package or whatever. You'll figure it out. Boink. Boink, 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 boink. Boink. Great. And so that'll so now in the who's it, when we want to use a logger, so this is where is it? I think this is technically an anti-pattern. Like, it works, but you shouldn't do it. So instead of calling logging.error, you want to make a logger and say logger equals logging.getLogger name, where name is going to be the name of the file. So I've now made a logger specifically for stuff happening in this file. Import logging is over here. And so now everywhere that I was saying logging.error, basically, I'm going to do that. Okay, there's just one log in here, which already we're gonna fix that. We're gonna fix that in a real quick hurry. We're gonna call that here. We're gonna say logger dot. Hey. So we can set debug or info. I'm gonna just keep stuff at info now. Debug is a lower level, so you can exclude that later. That you doing that in there. Yep, let's do that. Yep, great. For a video file, path is there, path glob there. MP4 only is fine, so we're going to say logger processing video file. Great. If not is excluded. If not is excluded. Ooh. Found. There's a different way to do this where you're like you change the way you're pulling stuff out of the direct, like, because we're excluding on the directory, so we shouldn't, like, it's not a problem, but like with this logic, you're going in and finding all the video files and then checking, do we want to use this, by checking if it's from an excluded who's it. I know that this is bot code, and that's the kind of logic it often flips around, but like really there's a way to do this with the glob where you just say like you don't look in the places that are excluded, but also who gives a shit. This should work. So we say found that file there, and I'm actually not even going to edit it, so it's only going to we're not going to log any of the excluded stuff for now because I don't think we're going to need to, plus I'm not excluding anything. That's a bit of the excluding stuff is kind of a you usually wouldn't do it. Like if you would only be doing that if you're processing something with like a lot of folders and subfolders. And the way I'm using it now is I'm just pointing it straight at a folder with a single video in it. But you can add loggers and stuff later if we want. Anyways, so here we are. Process video file. Boom. Now we're getting somewhere. I'm gonna copious logging. I am gonna do that thing I lied about. um, Pick it up. And then dot, 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 because it's a long running function. And then over here we say else. Yes. Cool. You can do that in the is excluded who's a, but I don't want to because it's a nice single function, single call function. Okay. Subfolder, subfolder, parent, file name. So video name, file. So making a subfolder. Why are we making a subfolder with the name? So we're making a folder in the same location. I don't think we want that. So this is going to make a subfolder in the same location as the video. Oh, right. This was the thing where you didn't want to move. So yeah. So this is for a world where there's a bunch of videos in the same folder. And you don't want to move anything, which is a fair reason to do stuff. I am living my life in such a way as where like I'm going to preload, like my videos are going to come in folders already. So that's just different workflows. I'm just going to also change this name so it's not garbage because I think a lot of things get based off the video name if I recall correctly. Start here, TikTok vid. Okay, so we're going from most to like general to less general. What is it? Little endian. So TikTok is the most general. It's also from Paul. I forget what his username is, but who cares? And it's start here, which is a series, and it's 0. It's the first one. Punch it. Okay. And I didn't change the name of the file. Who cares? Okay. Following this convention. So we could have at this point done like a debug and then do that, but for now we're doing static code analysis. I mean, we're just going to look at it. Gobble, lobble, lobble. Okay, so let's take a look. Me personally, I prefer to use keyword arguments instead of arguments whenever I can, but I don't feel like that right now. So okay, so we're sad here. So we're missing audio extract. Fuck, and this is the place where it'd be nice to be using poetry. So we'll do it dumb. Fine. Pip install. If it was poetry, if poetry was working, I could just do poetry add audio extract, but with this we're gonna have to do that. Audio extract, extract, extract. And I'm just going to keep track of what version it pulls. That one. Grab PyProject. There. Doink doink. Yeah. The little upward caret just means compatible version, which basically means it will accept any differences in the patch version will be sort of folded in, will be allowed. So anything 0.6 point star is another way to write that. Okay, so now you're happy. So we grab that, put it in the subfolder. Okay, so this is another thing. Like in this context, in this function, this isn't a subfolder. This is just the save directory, right? Like the concept of a subfolder is in the parent context. Like over here, it makes sense to think of something as a subfolder. In here, it's just a folder. You know what I mean? So, save paths, save directories, whatever would be the name you would use there. But I'm not going to change any of that because it's consistent. I'll bet what you're doing, because the counter argument to what you're saying is no, because in the context of the package, it is a subfolder because there's like a concept of a subfolder, so we're using that. So both are valid. I'm gonna leave it as it is. Incomplete. I don't know what that is. Is that a thing? Does it want that? Who cares? Extract audio, overwrite true, file. I don't know what that's all about. Presumably it matters. Who cares? Nice logging. Oh yeah, here's another one of those loggings. So once again, we're gonna say logger. It's a pretty common pattern, so the machine picks it up pretty quickly. Logger. So this is going to be a logger that's going to behave exactly the same as the other one because it's going to get its formatting from the init file because everything goes through the init file. Yeah, I think that's true. I don't know. If it's not, who cares? It'll just print defaults, I guess. But this one has a different name because it's named after the file. You'll see it when we start printing logs. How long have I been recording? An hour. It's always an hour. Okay, let's go back through. I'm guessing it's gonna look the same or sad here because we want PyDub. PyDub. I don't have to be doing these things one at a time, but I gotta do the logger stuff anyway. Logger. I probably could do like a global, not that one, a global find replace at this point, but I don't really want to. So actually I do. Is that Control-Shift-R? Say logging.info. Anything that says that we're going to call logger.I. Replace all. Control-Shift-R. Did you do any debugs? Who's that? Export? This isn't you though, that's somebody else. Get out of here. Get out of here. Get. Okay, I don't know why you're seeing that, but I'm gonna go to bop boop and then over here and come back here and say hello. Manual labor is stupid. This is a solved problem. I blame Bill Gates. Okay, so we've pulled out an audio file, we've compressed the audio file. So also arguably combine these, like the compression of the audio, like, I mean, I don't know. I guess we're probably saving both the original audio and the compressed audio. I don't know if there's a reason to, because like the uncompressed audio isn't doing any work because you could always just pull it out of the video again. So I would argue that we should combine these and just have extract audio should just have a compression ratio. Also, we should be able to specify like, whatever the extract audio needs to care about. Handle that. This is also like a nice little pipe situation where it's like the output of one is the input to the other. Up until this point where so this is a situation you actually don't need to return anything from this because they're not getting used anywhere, and PyCharm is telling us that they're not being used because they're grayed out, which is basically the clue that it's not being used, not hurting anything. And if you ever wanted to do something that downstream used that, we could, but it's fine. Nice and pretty. I like it so far. Okay, we're working. Okay, so we're going through piece by piece. We did extract audio. We did it in here. So we did this one too, did we? Why are you sad? So one of the rules here is like trust your linter. So this is yellow, so it's sad about something. I don't care. Oh, it was already in here. This was something. Did I skip one? Okay. Did I skip this one? Maybe I did both of them. Anyways, extract transcript. Boink. Why you said .env. Right, this one's annoying because you gotta know, because stupid, that it's actually pip install. I think it's python.env. Oh, I can check your requirements. Python.env. Not to be confused with .env Python, and definitely not to be confused with .env. What did I delete? Delete something there? Stupid. Okay. Python dot env. And I think it's probably just 1.0 because I think, 1.01. What do you know about that? It's like he made one mistake. Probably like 20 years ago or whatever he made this thing. The rage I feel knows no bounds. Being forced to do this pedestrian nonsense. Every time I go back and do it, I get even more angry. Okay, close to the right. And here we go. Yeah, so this is from the auto replace where it's not happy about that because I didn't give it that, but that's easy to do. Control Alt L to auto format. You're not happy about something probably because of unresolved. Oh, god damn it! Apparently I did that global find replace wrong. Yeah. Thank you, yellow squiggle. The yellow squiggles are your friends. They're telling you this. They're telling you something screwy here. They're not always right, because sometimes sloppy stuff is allowed. But if this breaks, it'll be my fault. It's not happy about it for some reason or another. Yeah, it's like a weird types problem. Sometimes, yeah. See, this is also happy. Yeah, expected type supports right, got text IO instead. So like someone at some level of this development didn't set like text IO probably does support writing, but because the types don't say that, the linter thinks it's broken. That's why it gives the yellow thing. So we'll get back to it if we care. Also, we don't need to do this because we can just do pathlib.write or something like. There's other ways around it. Doesn't matter. Super doesn't matter. A lot of this stuff is so old that sometimes like newer type stuff, like type problems, I find are common in these like write a file to the disk kind of code because like they didn't keep up. Summarize transcript. Also, this guy needs that. Now we're getting somewhere. Now we're getting into the good stuff. Summaries, and then we get this guy, subfolder, and we get this guy, and we pull him out, and we do this. We do some whatever this is. Ooh, so are we doing file IO twice? Original stem. Oh. Yeah, there's something screwy going on here. It's fine. There's ways around this, and there's also like anytime I see file IO happening in multiple places, I get a little concerned. I'm guessing you're probably doing stuff that's like it's probably set up that it can save and load as it needs to, but it's ideal if it doesn't have to rely on file IO to run. Because it's a way for there to be context outside of your code that makes your code not work. So I think with this way it is now, it's like you just run it straight through. It will always be the way it should be because it was saved in the previous function. But it's better if you don't have to do that. Like every time I see file IO, I'm like something's gonna break. Something's gonna break there. And loading is more dangerous than saving because loading is like if it's not there, it doesn't work. Saving is like if it's not there, just make a place and put it there. Okay, so we're reading the transcript. Also, it's like you just got this data in the previous call, so just send it along. Doesn't matter. Blah, 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 blah. This is the fancy part. Ooh, look at him go. Wowie zowie. Look at him stuff that guy into that guy. Something got a nice to do. Process the API response and extract the summary data. You did it. Good job. To do, done. I'm not going to delete it because there might be something else you meant by that. But who cares? Again, not happy here because it's not happy something. File IO. It's like yikes. Don't touch them file. That's, I mean, it's 100. It's totally fine. It's just I have I have trauma. It is. This is a place where things won't scale the way you want them to, because it will start to glorp up as you do more and more stuff. You just want to keep it. You want your code to be internally completely logically consistent as it can be, so that you can be like, all the logic is correct, and so therefore it's all good. Like I might have said this a second ago, but it bears repeating. If your code requires you to check the file system and expect it to be a certain way, and if it's not that way, then it fails. That means that there's context outside of your code that will make your code fail, which means that you cannot guarantee that your code will run, because like maybe I run it and then I go to that folder and I change something because I'm a weirdo, and then I come to you and I'm like complaining. It's like, it stopped working. It's like, how are you gonna know that? Like in this case, it's like we can still obviously you have to specify something because you're loading stuff from disk, but you could hypothetically do checks here and say like everything is as it should be, and then have this basically just like send the relevant data through. I'm also not looking at it too closely, so it's entirely possible that I think you're just pulling like the name out of here, but it's just you see where I'm at. You understand. I'm also being like grumpy. Grr. Ooh, here's a bunch of garbage. Okay, so Control Alt O. So stuff that wasn't used goes away. So for example, pill and random and stuff like that. Pill is an installed package, so if we're not using it, I'm not going to add it. Control Alt P. I'm guessing, yeah. So Control Alt O. Sorry, optimize imports. Gets over that stuff. We're going to need all these guys. NLTK I don't recognize. Word cloud I don't recognize, but I can guess what that means. I'm surprised there's not something built into matplotlib for that, but it might be separate. Matplotlib is a sloppy bean. Okay, you need a logger. You need a logger. I don't know what NLTK is. I don't know what all this stuff is. Who cares? Blop, 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 blop. Pip install matplotlib. Nuttl cook. Word cloud. We're going to want matplotlib equals, it's presumptuous. 3.9.2. Look at me typing with my fingers like I'm a freaking whatever, someone who's bad at computer. I'm not bad at computer. I'm good at computer. Nuttl cook. What you doing, Nuttl cook? Wait, did I get that wrong? Oh, they're just very close in number. I'm gonna make a new superstition. This will only work if they're close in number. Not true. Who else did I add? Word cloud 193. Doink. Word cloud. See, this will actually work because it's got the caret, so it will actually be just as happy with 1.9 as 1.3, but we'll keep it up to date. I think that's true. I don't know if it's true. Who cares? Okay. Summarization. What are we doing? Who are you people? Who are you? Oh, you're not using local whisper. You're using I'll add the local stuff later. Because we're at an hour of the recording, which means that I'm done. We know this. We have an hour before our brain melts. Who are you? Where are we? Where are any of us? Are we ready to run it? No. We gotta look from red. Load.env. What are you? Summarization. Look at you doing all your thing. Right click. Soft wrap. Ooh. Blah blah blah. Blah 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 blah. Good job. Blah blah blah. Blah. Oh, because I control bead into here. So I didn't see all this goop over here. What's your to do? Blah 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 blah. I think Oh yeah, I think you did half of this. Anyways, who cares? Summarization. Generate word count. Where are you? Summarize transcript. Okay, that's good. Close tabs to the right. Close tabs to the right. So we're looking for red. And I'm pretty sure I did get to that point already. Word cloud. We're happy there. Right. That's where I did the nettle tick and what's not. Generate word cloud. Let's look through it. Control the logger. We get this. So this is also kind of just duplicated code. It's like all over the place. So I don't know if there's a reason why it's. Who cares? Yeah, you got that stuff. Yeah, just send it through. If it's just that you need to send it through. I guess this isn't. Output file exists. Skipping. Oh, I see. Yeah, sure. You can add. You can put like a flag here for like overwrite. Overwrite true. Just it's a. And then just like, yeah, you get it. Load. JSON load. Oh, this is the file. Load is dangerous. So if you can avoid it you can. Again, it doesn't matter. Who cares? Blah blah blah. We're doing this stuff. Generate this word cloud. Do this word cloud. Get this word cloud. This makes an image. Oh, we're doing pictures. Pictures are nice. Save stuff. Save fig. Almost certainly a different way to do this without having to like use matplotlib, but just because matplotlib is is sloppy beans as well, and if I can avoid it, I do. But also it does its job really well. So if I try not to make more work for myself. Yay, red. Okay, markdown 2. Pip install markdown 2. Markdown as well. Make a logger. Logger. Ooh, don't do that. Don't import it from another place. Sometimes it wants you to. Don't do that. That makes problems, and like that's how you get it. That's circular dependency hell, and also it will. Best case scenario would just log from. It would say it's from a different place, or it would just be. I don't even know what that would do. It would just be weird and ugly. Okay, general HTML summary. Again, this guy again. This guy again. There's nothing wrong with it. Who cares? Blah blah blah. This guy. No, I'm just kidding. Sorry for yelling. Blah 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 blah. So we're pulling stuff out. Blah blah blah. HTML. We got a template, and you got that there. I was going with that. I have no problem with defining like HTML templates and Python strings. I do it. I've done it before. I've done it before, whatever. It is kind of annoying because you don't get to use like the linter to help you out, and it also means that if you have something that's like running, then it won't like if it's ever in like a situation where there's like a server running, you can't edit the HTML file and like reload it because it's like crystallized on initialization of the Python run. But who cares? Blah blah blah. HTML. Great. Blah 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 blah. Okay, let's run it. Huh? What do you say? What do you say? What do you say? I'm gonna need the OpenAI key. Okay. So I'm gonna save this here. Cancel. Control CV. So now what I'm gonna do? So I'm gonna go find my OpenAI secret and put it in there. I'm gonna pause it and then do that. I think with things like env, this is also super old. So you don't want things like spaces and quotation marks. I think that python.m handles that for you, but like traditionally the env files like no additional characters. So like I don't even have spaces, just the thing is the thing. So I will change that actually in the example too. Alrighty, pause the video. Okay, how we're back. I did the env stuff. I updated the git ignore a little bit. Should be good. And I'm gonna push a commit that says ready to run the thing. Run it. Blah 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 blah. It's got some. There's something in here that's like, oh, don't push it if there's a to-do statement, which is not how I use to-do statements. But I should turn it off, but I didn't. So who cares? Okay. Are we missing something over here? Okay, I don't know why that's like that. I guess I'll just run it. Let's just see what it does. I'm tempted to start with a debugger on. I'm gonna do that rather than just letting it run through. Oh, especially because I know that it will ignore stuff if the files are already there. I'm a little bit wary of that. Like I want to be able to turn on overwrite so that every run is the same. Like ignore if it's already there is a good thing to have, but for debugging and dev purposes, like I want to be able to make sure that when I push run the first time, it's the same thing happens as when I push it the second time. So I would want to be able to like have some overwrite key that I can set from the outside. But anyways, doesn't matter. Right click, debug. There you go. Get in there. Get in there, buddy. All right. F8. 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 Don't yell at me. Don't yell at me. Great. F8. How do you go in? F7. F8. 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 Why aren't we getting logs? Why aren't we getting logs? Possibly because we're not actually hitting. I think because we're not actually importing anything from that, we actually might not be hitting that like I said I would. So, but I think if we run it, because we're running from main, so we will hit that from there. So later, if we ever try to run from these things separately, oh yeah, naming wise, processes is fine. It's a little overloaded in this context because processes in my head usually means like multi-processing processes. So it's, but I know what you mean. Everyone knows what you mean. Who cares? And it's kind of like it puts stuff together. It's fine. Yeah, who cares? Okay, so shutting that down. I was shutting it down because the logs weren't showing up, and that was like a question mark. I can break that though, and run to there. Great. Okay, cool. So that's working. So yeah, see, so time it ran, level of the log, name of the file, function, line number, log. And it's red because PyCharm defaults red for whatever reason. Doink, 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 doink. Folder looks right. Alrighty. Downloads start here. Yeah, okay. Alrighty, let's pull this boy up. Yeah, so we got this. I like whoever the hell it was that was like everybody wants to see collapse all groups. Like, don't show me fucking groups. No one has ever wanted that. Just make it a goddamn file. I need to escape Windows hell. Properties. Today, a long time ago. Shut the fuck up. Jesus Christ. Doesn't matter. Okay. So everything should show up in here, right? Alt 11, Alt 11, F8, F8. Oh, okay. There you go. Look at that. Oh, okay. Nice. How did our logs do? We got some logs. Got some logs. Okay. Is that a print? Is that a print? Oh my god. Maybe not. It might be built in. I bet that's from the package itself. Okay, so Control Shift F. You got that in there? Yeah, FFmpeg wrote that. FFmpeg's just printing. It's fine. Honestly. Yeah. Okay, this little hamburger takes you to where you are. F, this is compress. This should make another one called like probably compress, or it saves the same one. So we're currently at 9 megabytes, 9,000 kilobytes. Doink. How are we doing? Doing some blah, blah, blah. Takes a second, not that long. 0. Okay, shrink it. OpenAI, the Whisper gets mad when audio is above, I think it's like 25 megabytes or something like that, which is dumb and arbitrary, but compression, it probably sounds just as fine. Who cares? Okay, transcript file. This is where the rubber meets the road. Let's go inside this guy. F7? Wah. F8. That guy. Remove compressed audio from the stem. Oh, that's a comment. Yeah, you're recreating original stem. You already know that. Just send it, push it down. We already know this number, this thing. So we don't need to recalculate it every time. Like free mocap runs currently entirely on like a file system based, like names should match type of thing. And it's just like, yeah, remember your session name and keep it holy. Okay, F8. I'm getting tired. I want to be done. Even though this is the fun part. So yeah, we're pre-making the locations. We're gonna put the stuff. That's the path. This is the part that's like looking for it to already exist, and don't do it if it's already there. You want a way to get around that. Blah blah blah. Making that fine. If we're gonna be doing OpenAI stuff later, I would just like prefer to keep the client around because we're gonna have to do it again. Although this isn't fast code, so who gives a shit? And that is with open. There's file is audio data. File is audio data. Oh right, it's like file in like the broad sense. Where does that come from? Oh, open the audio file as that. Audio file from there, extract the transcript. Yeah, I got no problem with that. If it has to be an MP3, call it MP3 file or something like that. Like if it would work for other like Wave or something like that, keep it audio file. But if it has to be MP3, name it MP3 file or whatever. Dict result. That's feels old school to me, but what do I know? Doing it in this context. Who's it? It's fine. There you go. Take your time. We sad? We sad about something? Huh? Look sad. There we go. We're not sad at all. We're just thinking. I could be doing that locally, just to be clear. All right. So, result is a transcription. Oh, you're just converting it with dict. Yeah, you don't have to do that. Oh, that's not Paul stuff. That was another video. Whatever, who cares? It's a Norman Finkelstein video that I had. Result. I think the modern preference is to do model dump, because I think that is a... Yeah. Wee! There's the words. It's not that. It doesn't matter. Task is transcribed. Language is English. Duration is... What is that? 599 seconds is 10 minutes? That was a 10-minute video?
My husband...
It is. Okay, there you go. That's why it took so long. And TikTok stuff is super compressed already, which is why the compression was not... I guess 10 minutes isn't that long, but it's dense words. Okie dokie. Step over. Step over. Save to JSON. There she is. Oh, it's in here. There she is. Look at him go. Whee! Text file, open transcript file. Oh, we're just now this is just, yeah, save this separately. I think this makes sense to do, just pulling it out and saving like the just the transcript separately. Technically it's redundant because it is already in the JSON, but I think like, it's nice to be able to just open a text file and say, yes, that's the words. That's the words. Also, text files, I guess, are word wrapped by default, which is nice. Log. Great work, buddy. Great. Summary. Into him. There's that. There's that. This guy. There we go. File. I only load it from the disk, I guess. So really what you would want to do is you want to have like a separate function that's called like load the whatever. And then if you're in a situation where you haven't already just processed it, you can load it. And then basically like, I guess this guy should really just receive a big string, or ignore me because this works. Who cares? Make another client again. Not ideal. Not a problem. It's not the best, but also not a problem. So who cares? Doink. Oh, and also we're just pulling out the text again. So it's just redundant and unnecessary. Especially if it's just the text, then just feed it the string that it's working on. There's no reason for this guy at this point to know that it's coming from a transcription file, because he just wants a string. So just give him a string. Like, I guess unless there's something in the prompt that tells it, hey, we're a transcript, this is a transcription of something, then it's just summarization. So it doesn't need to know that. So blah, blah, blah. But again, whom care? Boink. Did that? Okay. Boink. Boink. Transcript. You say it's a transcript, but it doesn't matter. What's your system prompt, friendo? So it does say read the attached transcript. More details can be found in the output schema. So so that's a question. Like, does it matter that it's a transcript? And I guess even if it does, then maybe you should feed the system prompt too, or like have it be a default parameter, expose it in some way. Who cares? Who cares? Jump, boink, boink, boink. Output JSON schema. Whom you. Bois. Bru papata. Booyakasha. Boo papata. Who are you? Where'd you come from? Who are you? Where'd you come from? You came from here. You came from there. Look at that. Yeah. Also, this can very clearly just live in a JSON. It is a JSON, so it can just be a JSON. Bop. And then if I do this, not that, if I do this, now this part's going to be like, oh, I'm doing stuff. I think it'll probably be pretty fast because it's actually not a very big blob of text, but doink. We did it. I knew we could do it. JSON respond j'accomplis chant. Oh, is it going to show my... I don't think I have splashed my API key yet, but it is... I know it... Oh, no, that would be in the client. I bet I could splash it in there if I wanted to. Choices. Choice. Where's the thing? Choices 0 message. So this is where if you do like top P or something like that, it will give you like the top N like responses. So you can like choices will have more than one thing in it, and it just will give you the top N whatever. It's part of the input schema. Who cares? Message, content. There you go. Look at the guy. Look at the guy. Hooray. Hooray. Summary data. Ooh. Ooh. Words. Summary data. We're putting... Oh, we're adding... Yeah, we're adding stuff. Yeah, and again, we want to have a config schema or something like that for the lolum. Skillybot has some stuff in like that. We can borrow and align. Yeah, saving a who's it. Look at this Jasson. Look at him go. Yeah, look at that. That's the context. That's what they were talking about. Ooh. Alt Z? There you go. I wish this was actually parsing, but who cares? Pull quotes. I don't know if these are actually the most. I don't think these are correct. In terms of like pull quotes, I don't think they, because this is the video is 10 minutes of Norman Finkelstein talking about like the details of why the thing that Hillary Clinton says in the first like 5 seconds of the video is like not accurate. So this is kind of saying it's like it's taking the like the first blob of audio from the Hillary Clinton quote and saying like that's what this video is about, which is kind of true, except that it's missing the fact that most of the video is like that's not the case. So complicated. That's also, I think this is also like a particularly hard case for summarization. Like if this was like a regular video, like this video, everything is kind of on topic and it doesn't have that. I realize now that's kind of like the TikTok stitch structure where the first words in the video are the opposite of what the video is typically about, because most stitches are like, here's a clip from the original and here's the whole rest of the video saying why I think they're wrong. So it's kind of interesting to think about that as like a case study here. Blah, blah, blah. Look at that. It looks good. Great job. Wonderful work. Everybody's happy. Now we're getting into the good stuff, the fancy parts, and a fate. This guy again. A fate. Once again, it's like a lot of work just to pull the string that you could have just sent it straight through. And it also makes it just makes this function like way more like generally useful if it doesn't have to care or know that it's in this transcription context, and you could just yeet it a string. Might be a nice endpoint. Stop words. Don't custom stop words. Is that the right? Is that stop? I don't know what stop words are. I guess it just slurps them out. Who knows? Blah 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 blah. Boink 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 boink. Okay. I don't know what's going on. This is. I guess it's just removing like garbage words so that it leaves better words behind. Doink, 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 doink. Doink. Have we given it the actual words? Guess we'll probably use that later. Oh, generate text. There you go. Doink, doink, doink. Oh, we sad about something? Nah, we just take a second. That's okay. Word cloud. What are you, friend? Oh, what are you, friend? Are you an image? You're a weird object. Okay, you can keep being a weird object. There you go. Once again, it's like, well, I guess I don't really know what it looks like. And again, this was sort of a... I thought that I was picking a video that was much more like on topic, and I guess it isn't. It was more, that was the first video, so it was much more like vibe. It wasn't actually like dense empirical like historical stuff, but who cares? It was a video I had available. So ooh, what's gonna happen now? Nothing? Yeah, nothing. Because it doesn't display it. This should save a who's it? Let's save it as a output file. Ping. Ping. Show me. Nice. 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 Good job. Good job. Good job. Good job. This shit again. Just kidding. A little bit. I wonder if I can repeat the thing I said every time again. Oh wait, are we pulling a different guy now? Who are we pulling? Hudamol. Who we open? Input file? Who's input file? Is input file is probably Mr. Jasson. Oh, it's probably the output. Summaries.json? I see what you're doing there. So that later you can do other stuff. I see what's going on there. I see what you're going. I see you. I see you, boo. I understand the things that are happening. I know what the world is on occasion. I can tell from the outside who you are as a person. So in traditional form, I realized that in an hour that I was brain dead, and now here we are half an hour later. Doink. Doink. Template. Render. Open. Make the guy. There he is. This is going to be the most fun guy. He 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 he. Ho 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 ho. He 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 he. Ha 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 ha. It's so good. It's so good. I still think that the white on pink is a little hard to read, but who gives a shit? Like, this is so good. Ugh. Okay. Close you. Great. Okay. And I think we're just gonna go and I think it's gonna be done. Doink, doink, doink. Doink, doink, doink. Just so we know we're done. Great. So now I can actually go back and because I'll find that video. I'll change the names. I'm gonna pause it, figure out how to get rid of that stupid grouping. Okay, here's how you do it. Right click, open the thing, right click anywhere, group by, none. Thank you. That's all I've ever wanted. I never wanted you to do anything different. Also, give me date created. Stupid thing. Boo. Also, where was what? Why is the guy? Downloads. I guess it was. Where was it? Oh, because I was on the wrong side. Take created. Why can't it find this guy? Stupid. Anyways, do I have anything? I'm just gonna now I'm just gonna run it again. So let's see. So I need to make a new folder called, this one is called, that's a weird fucking thing. What is that going on here? Stinking jerk off. What are you doing? Jesus Christ. TikTok. Paul. Start here. 0. And then I look in here and I say, oh, I gotta do this stupid thing again. Jerk. I say .mp4. I got a couple of videos there. This is the one I want, right?
My husband.
Nope, wrong one. But where is the one that I want? I did this yesterday. Is it here? Did I just make that?
My husband.
Nope. You didn't show me all the windows. I hate you from the depths of my heart.
We are all
Israel commits
Everything on my computer is about Palestine. I sent something to John yesterday. I sent this over. I'll just pull it from that thread because I can't apparently find things on my own computer. Alrighty, download. Thank you. And don't group by anything. I hate you. Is this the one I want? That is the one I want. Okay. That one is actually, oh God in heaven, F2. What are you doing? Name the thing, you piece of fuck. F2? I'm gonna kill everybody on the planet. Oh God. Come on, you unbelievable bastard. Apparently I don't know how to rename anything anymore. Yeah, that's what I wanted. Thank you. Not really. Paul. Tick tock. Start here. 0. Fuck. I'm gonna do this. I see. Grab that, go here, grab that, go there. Thank you, Jesus. Now, instead of running it in debug mode, I'm just gonna hit that. Boom, punch it, get it. And now it should just happen. Open that up. Look at this guy. Look at it, guy. Look at it go. Look at him go. It's gonna have to wait a second to get to. Oh, I think it's doing the opening ass stuff. We could be doing this with locals. We could be doing local whisper, but no, we gotta go send it up to Sky Daddy and say, hey, do this for me. Transcript.txt. Hey, woo. That's the transcript. Paul Nabil spelled the name in the Pakistani way with the English spelling instead of the French Levantine way with an I. Hey, look at that. Word cloud. One. He probably said that. No. 1 day account maybe, Online Palestine. Sure. And let's see this guy. The Hiddimal is too big because again, like you made this for landscape mode and you're not used to the portrait mode of the kill kids on the internet. Yep. Works great. Love it. Big fan. No notes except for the thousands of notes that I have. But it does work real good. Push them up. Wowee, it good. And great. Now it's up and now we're happy. And now I will send you that link and I'll put this video on YouTube and thank you. What fun. Okay, bye. Mwah.